The ego is not master in its own house. Neurosis is the inability to tolerate ambiguity. Where it is, there shall ego be. From error to error, one discovers the entire truth. He who knows how to wait need make no concessions. If children could, if adults knew. There are no mistakes. Neurosis is no excuse for bad manners. Being entirely honest with oneself is a good exercise. Anatomy is destiny. How bold one gets when one is sure of being loved. We are what we are because we have been what we have been. The madman is a dreamer awake. Public self is a conditioned construct of the inner psychological self. A woman should soften but not weaken a man. My love is something valuable to me which I ought not to throw away without reflection. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. Out of your vulnerabilities will come your strength. We are what we are because we have been what we have been, and what is needed for solving the problems of human life and motives is not moral estimates but more knowledge. Love and work are the cornerstones of our humanness. The challenge of leadership is to be strong, but not rude, be kind, but not weak, be bold, but not bully, be thoughtful, but not lazy, be humble, but not timid, be proud, but not arrogant, have humor, but without folly. Great decisions in the realm of thought and momentous discoveries and solutions of problems are only possible to an individual, working in solitude. No one who, like me, conjures up the most evil of those half-tamed demons that inhabit the human breast, and seeks to wrestle with them, can expect to come through the struggle unscathed. The unconscious of one human being can react upon that of another without passing through the conscious. Men are strong so long as they represent a strong idea, they become powerless when they oppose it. The more the fruits of knowledge become accessible to men, the more widespread is the decline of religious belief. When one does not have what one wants, one must want what one has. Life, as we find it, is too hard for us. It brings us too many pains, disappointments and impossible tasks. In order to bear it we cannot dispense with palliative measures. There are perhaps 3 such measures: powerful deflections, which cause us to make light of our misery; substitutive satisfactions, which diminish it; and intoxicating substances, which make us insensible to it. The more perfect a person is on the outside, the more demons they have on the inside. We may insist as often as we like that man's intellect is powerless in comparison to his instinctual life, and we may be right in this. Nevertheless, there is something peculiar about this weakness. The voice of the intellect is a soft one, but it will not rest until it has gained a hearing. Finally, after a countless succession of rebuffs, it succeeds. Neurotics complain of their illness, but they make the most of it, and when it comes to taking it away from them they will defend it like a lioness her young. One thing only do I know for certain, and that is that man's judgments of value follow directly his wishes for happiness, that, accordingly, they are an attempt to support his illusions with arguments. No neurotic harbors thoughts of suicide which are not murderous impulses against others redirected upon himself. It goes without saying that a civilization which leaves so large a number of its participants unsatisfied and drives them into revolt neither has nor deserves the prospect of a lasting existence. Instinct of love toward an object demands a mastery to obtain it, and if a person feels they can't control the object or feel threatened by it, they act negatively toward it. No, our science is no illusion. But an illusion it would be to suppose that what science cannot give us we can get elsewhere. A religion, even if it calls itself a religion of love, must be hard and unloving to those who do not belong to it. Human beings are funny. They long to be with the person they love but refuse to admit openly. Some are afraid to show even the slightest sign of affection because of fear. Fear that their feelings may not be recognized, or even worse, returned. But one thing about human beings puzzles me the most is their conscious effort to be connected with the object of their affection, even if it kills them slowly within. Love in the form of longing and deprivation lowers the self-regard. A man should not strive to eliminate his complexes but to get into accord with them. They are legitimately what directs his conduct in the world. A transference neurosis corresponds to a conflict between ego and id. A narcissistic neurosis corresponds to that between ego and superego, and a psychosis to that between ego and outer world. Men are more moral than they think and far more immoral than they can imagine. It is a predisposition of human nature to consider an unpleasant idea untrue, and then it is easy to find arguments against it. Conservatism is too often a welcome excuse for lazy minds, loath to adapt themselves to fast-changing conditions. When making a decision of minor importance, I have always found it advantageous to consider all the pros and cons. In vital matters, however, such as the choice of a mate or a profession, the decision should come from the unconscious, from somewhere within ourselves. In the important decisions of personal life, we should be governed, I think, by the deep inner needs of our nature.